Hi, this is Ryan from My Web Design Source. I wanted to talk about Google. That's a little sign I have here in my office. And Google has been obviously a major player in the internet. I don't think anybody that surfs the internet has not heard of Google. Now, Google for your websites, what does that mean? And I wanted to point out that a couple of things here. There's what they call organic search, meaning that when you type in something on Google, you'll see it in the middle of the box, and you'll obviously see who's number 1, 2, or 3. And also there's the Google AdWords. Google AdWords are like sponsored boxes that sometimes are in the very top or towards the side, where businesses pay Google a certain amount of money so that they can be on that place. So think about it as a retail store. If you're in Beverly Hills, you're obviously paying a little bit more for your rent versus if you're in the suburbs in somewhere in a Torrance area. The difference in rent, it will depend on how much exposure you have. So think about again, like in a freeway or in a road, the more walk traffic or the more eyeballs, that costs money for rent. So that's what Google sells in terms of the Google AdWords. Now for your business, how do I get my business up there? And usually that's the number one question that my client asks. I am not an expert in getting a business to the number 1 spot, and I don't think there's an expert out there. There might be a few, but I'm not one of them, but I just like to share some of my experience. If your keyword, for example, if I'm selling a product like an iPad or iPhone or some sort of very generic device, imagine how many people around the world is looking for that top spot where people can Google that iPad and be able to purchase that iPad or iPhone. That's a very competitive keyword. That's what the term is called. Now, let's say you're selling let's say you're selling a candle that smells like avocado. Now, how many people are selling candles that smell like avocado? Not that many, right? So that means that if you do, you have a higher chance of getting the organic search, having that keyword, candle smells like avocado. Now, here's also what I've learned is that if there's no one competing on those sponsored ads towards the side, again, the sponsored ads for the paid advertising, what happens if it's a very popular keyword, that means I wanted to be number 1, I'm going to have to pay, like, say, $1. If I want to be number 2, I'm paying 99 cents, and number 3 paying 98 cents. Now, if there's nobody bidding on that keyword, candle avocado, you can pay as little like a couple cents per click, and if those people are really tuned into that candle smelling avocado, you're going to convert them as a customer with just maybe a budget of maybe $25 a month, and your conversion rate is higher, meaning that you're turning them into customers because that particular keyword is really what that client is looking for, and you're the only one in that keyword. So my suggestion is, go ahead and pay Google the Google AdWords, because you're going to be on the very top with only that amount of basically the amount of expenditure in advertising Google AdWords. Now, if I spent in the past thousands of dollars promoting my product using just Google AdWords, and has paid off for me because the returns of having a rent being on the very top is great. Now, if you want it to be again an organic search, that might be a little bit difficult if you have a competitive word. So that's where your search engine marketing professional comes in, or your search engine optimization company, or even if you're not using Google, maybe the social media marketing person will handle that for you. That's where you might need some help and expertise in making sure you get there in organic search. Because once you're there in organic search and you stay up there, you don't have to spend money on Google AdWords, right? But again, you have to think, should I put my money into the organic search? Is it really worth it for the keyword or the service I provide, the product I provide? Or should I just keep paying, Google AdWords? The only thing with Google AdWords is once you stop paying them, you'll be gone and you won't be seen, and no one will be visiting your site. So again, those are the two things in Google: Google paid advertising, Google AdWords, and then also the Google Organics. And in one of my next sessions, we'll be talking about Google Places or Yahoo Places or local placement on Google or Yahoo.